It's Tuesday and we are back with No Filter Tuesdays. Welcome, everyone. Well, today's guest, she's an actress, an activist, and an author. She began her career in the 1990s, appearing on television sitcoms before landing supporting roles in teenage comedy films. She's All That and 10 Things I Hate About You. And her breakthrough role was in 2000, and that film was called Bring It On. The name of her book is We Are Going to Need Some More Wine, or We Are Going to Need More Wine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my amazing guest for today, no other than Gabrielle Union Wade. Yay!
How are you?
Gabrielle!
Yay! We finally made this happen.
Thank you for your time and letting this happen. Thank you so much.
No,
I've been wanting to talk to you for like months and months and months.
Now this is so exciting.
I look at you every day. You're the most incredible mother. And I look at your videos just like heart.
No, I always see the support and I'm like,
You are loved.
No,
you are so loved.
Thank you.
So how have you been doing?
You know, given the global pandemic and the racial reckoning and everything that's happening in the world, I'm healthy and our family's together and I'm trying to put, more people to work and create more opportunities. So I'm doing all right. It's every day something different, you know how it goes, but we just try to do our best and hope that when we fail that people are nice.
You don't fail. You don't fail.
All the time.
I'm trying to remember, where did we meet first?
So I love to tell this story.
Love to go back to the beginning. Okay, so I'm ready because I actually don't remember really. I can't remember what continent it was on.
No, so it was in Milan, and it was, like almost 20 years ago, if not over 20 years ago. Yeah, I was in Milan. It was the first time I was ever invited to a fashion show, and Mr. Armani invited me to the Armani show in Milan, and my husband at the time and I went, and I was at the bar, as one is, and you came up and you were like, do you have a pressing comb? And I was like, oh my god, it's Naomi Campbell, oh shit. And I was like, yeah. And you're like, I'll be right here when you get back with it. And I went,
where was my manners? Excuse me, Naomi.
No.
Where was my manners?
I was just like, oh my god, holy shit. I was just happy, like the fact that you even saw me, you know what I mean, was like, that blew my mind. I don't know if you realize what you look like and how you move through the world. You're an actual vision. Like, you are exquisite. Like, there's a reason there's only one of you. It's a surreal experience to have your eyes on me. That was insane. So of course I'm like sprinting to my room and I get the hot comb and I bring it back, and that's how we met.
That's how we met in Milan, Italy.
And then you returned it, and that was it. And then
Italy's been good to me. I have met some amazing sisters in Italy. God, Italy's been good. So where were you born, and where did you grow up?
So I was born in Omaha, Nebraska, and I grew up in the Bay Area. My parents got transferred to the Bay Area when I was 8. So we moved to this little town called Pleasanton, which is exactly how it sounds. And that's where I grew up, and then bounced around in different colleges, but I ended up graduating from UCLA. And while I was still at UCLA, that's when my career started.
Did you know, from Nebraska to Hollywood, from Nebraska to the Bay Area to
Pleasanton.
From Nebraska, Pleasanton to Hollywood. Did you have any inkling that acting is what you wanted to do?
No. For someone who had crippling self-doubts and like very low self-esteem, I always assumed you had to be perfect, and you know, like you, like I thought you had to be Naomi Campbell to be, you know, worthy of being on screen. So no, it was never anything I ever thought for myself. And I got an internship when I was in college as office help at a modeling agency. It was a big agency for a very particular kind of girl. It was very, you know, tits and ass. It was like more like car show, in-house pets, you know, Playboy and that kind of thing. So again, I didn't have the.
But let's just tell everybody you graduated with honors.
Oh, I did. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's an important.
So before I graduated,
you're a very smart woman here.
I had this internship, and when my internship ended, they were like, "Would you ever consider modeling?" And I was like, "Me?" You know, and again, it's LA modeling, so it's not what you were doing, but it was like Montgomery Ward's, you know, like teen magazine, Sassy. And I was like, "Do you think someone would pay me to model?" And they're like, "Yeah, you'll get $120 a day." And I was like, "Oh, I'm rich, bitch. It's on and popping." Because I was working at the bookstore at UCLA making $6.16 an hour. So I was like, "Oh, I'm now a supermodel. I am on the road." I was not on the road, but very quickly I started auditioning for acting gigs, and I just started booking, and I haven't stopped.
No, you have not stopped.
25 years later.
So I read that you also, were you still at college when you were acting? Was there a crossover at all?
Yeah, there was about a year where I was still in college, starting to model and act, and still working at the bookstore, because I was like, this Hollywood thing, it's not guaranteed, but that $6.16 an hour job, that's my real gig. That's what I gotta.
So like a good girl, you put all of that towards what you needed for your school, I suppose. No?
Oh yeah. No, I was paying for school myself by that point.
See, the kids don't know these days.
They really don't, and certainly my kids don't.
Okay. So you wanted to be an actress, or you weren't sure? You got into it, you liked it right away, or you thought this gig's okay, I'll just do it?
You know what? I didn't know enough about the craft, or, you know, acting to have a good opinion about it. Like I just knew what I saw on TV, and I didn't think I was doing that. Like I was doing like kid shows. So it wasn't like I was doing, you know, Shakespeare in the Park or anything where you had to be good. So I was just like, I'm going to ride this until the wheels come off. And so I was using that money to pay off my student loans and to save and to help my family.
How was it then for women of color in Hollywood in getting good roles then?
I mean, when I first started, it was a part of this Black Renaissance. So you had, you know, all the Black movies. So you had like the Love Jones and the Waiting to Exhales, and there was this Renaissance of Black entertainers, you know, and a lot of opportunity. And then we went through a drought, and it was really, really hard. And we're just now coming back into a bit of that Renaissance, and a lot of people are just committed to doing Hollywood differently. And it's certainly, as Black people, doing it differently, having more ownership, creating our own tables and our own chairs for other people to have a seat at.
Educating.
We're trying to be the change we wanted to see.
So your first TV job was Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Which I saw that it's getting rebooted now, right?
Yes.
Will you make a guest appearance or any special appearance?
They have not asked me.
I'm sure they will.
Maybe I'll come back as like Screech's Black girlfriend.
I remember that show.
Yeah.
I remember that show because it was on in England too. We used to be on, I believe, Channel 4. So I remember that. And what was the name of your character in Saved by the Bell?
The first time I was Mistletoe Girl number 2, and then I came back
Mistletoe.
As Mistletoe Girl number 2, and then I came back as a girl who stole coins or something. I don't remember what the name was. But to us, like our generation, we grew up looking at Lark Voorhees, was one of the only Black faces, like brown. She had brown skin, and she was an object of affection, and she was the shit. She was everything. So when I got the call to go do this gig, I thought I was gonna see Lark Voorhees and Mark Paul Gosselaar and Mario Lopez, but it was Saved by the Bell, the new class, and none of them were on anymore. So I got that.
And so then, movie, Bring It On, which, I mean, I think everyone's fantasized to be a cheerleader. Now, tell me about that, because you actually were a cheerleader in real life.
I was, but it was like 8th grade where you just had to be popular. You didn't actually have to have like talent. So we were doing cheers like, get it together, boy, get it together. GETITTOGETHER. That's right. So it wasn't like, like what you see in Bring It On. It was just like, bitchy little cheerleader, little, cheers and stuff. So I was not prepared for that at all. And I was at least 10 years older than everybody else. I just looked young. So I'm like, where are your parents? Who wants to have a drink? Because none of them.
But I mean, Bring It On was a big deal because it came out in summer, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was just like packed, huge hit, packed movie theaters. And I just think for me, being in England, coming from England, I should say, that was something that really symbolized America for me, was a cheerleader. Grease and Bring It On.
So Grease is my all-time favorite movie. Like,
no way.
Yes, I am obsessed with Grease. Obsessed.
The love story part of it, or just the whole college, high school, adolescent?
The bad girl of it all. My favorite is Rizzo and Chacha Di Gregorio, the best dancer at St.
She had the most beefy role, I'd say, didn't she?
To me, I'm like cute girl, sweet girl crap. I want the one who might have had an accident,
Okay, so you've been working now for 25 years in this business.
Yes.
Looking back, what surprised you the most? What is it now that you feel when you look at roles that are offered to you, what you're looking for, what you will take and what you won't take?
I think what was most surprising, and it's still surprising, is the anti-Blackness of it all. Obviously there's racism, that's, the root, but the anti-Blackness specifically was jarring and shocking, and it still is. I think there's a very narrow idea of what kind of Black girl was acceptable and marketable and desired. And we're still fighting, against that to show that.
I'm still trying to understand that. Which one is? I don't even know now.
Listen, all of them. You know what I mean? Like every shade, size,
but that's truth.
Identity. Like we're fly in every incarnation, but that's not always been the case. And I think the more we take control of our own narratives and control the means of production, we have the ability to showcase all of our richness as a people. But that has not been the case, and that was discouraging, really discouraging.
So do you feel there's been progress or no progress, or we're getting there, or
we are slowly getting there, very, very slowly? If you're like us and you're waiting for that change, and you've been waiting, okay, like my career's going to take off once this change happens, it feels real slow. It feels like it's happening at a snail's pace. But if you're one of those people who has been standing in the way of progress and who has been, allowed to advance, even though you're exhibiting, poor behavior, the change might feel real fast and it feels like it's at breakneck speed, but it's really, no, you're just experiencing accountability and consequences like the rest of us have.
But Gabrielle, do you think we shouldn't be waiting for anything?
Hell no.
Do it yourself.
Exactly.
You got to, because it seems to be the only way that, it's really tailored and right for you, because it's even as a model, sometimes I say, I'll wait that I'm going to get that beauty contract. 34 years later, Pat McGrath,
Wait, I was
sister,
like, wait a
friend,
second.
family. Yes.
You never
I used
had
to
a
remember.
what?
I swear, I used to sit and watch my counterparts and watch other girls get beauty. If you look at my work, you see, if you look on those 90s sites that they have, most of my shots are always runway shots. They're not really beauty shots, because I never did beauty.
But
Only
you
later
are
on in life.
the beauty. How? But I mean, that's anti-blackness.
That's just the way it was. That's just the way it was.
Wow.
You think it's going to get better?
I have to hope so.
Yeah.
I have to hope so. I follow so many Black models from around the world, and I live through them, and I see like all of the things that they're doing that, you know, past generations never had the opportunity to do. So I have to hope so. But when we're still having, oh, this was the first time I ever shot with a Black woman. Oh, this is the first Black photographer that's ever shot for this magazine. When we're still having those firsts in 2020, you just realize how much further we have to go. Yeah.
In 2020, first Black photographer, first Black female photographer, and 2019 towards the end, first Black photographer.
That's insane. That's insane.
It's just, you know, I mean, I want to ask you, because it's been out there.
Mm-hmm.
You were definitely not happy when you stepped in to cover Heidi. And I don't know if Heidi was on her honeymoon or she was shooting the show that I was doing with her in Japan. But do you want to tell us what happened? Because I feel you were treated unfairly. And sometimes it's not even the words, it's just the vibe, and you feel it. And that's enough for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I'm allowed to say at this stage of the game, yeah, I would definitely say when you walk into a space and you recognize that change needs to happen sooner than later, to speak up. And I'm confident that the wheels of change are turning faster, and that we'll come to an amicable agreement, you know, very, very soon. But I will never regret speaking up, ever.
Good for you. You should
Ever.
never ever regret.
Never, ever.
That's your truth, and that's how you feel.
Yeah.
And no one can don't ever let anyone change the way you feel. You know, I've always been told that, and it's so true.
No, absolutely.
I mean,
and you know, because we've all been in situations where you see something, and then you worry, if I say something, will this affect my space in the industry? Will I somehow get the label of being difficult, or, you know, not hard to work with, or whatever, diva, whatever. And so we tend to protect our own space versus trying to make sure the space is open and amazing for everybody. And I just err on the side of, I'd rather work to make sure this space is great for everybody. And so
correct.
I'm confident moving
the
forward.
atmosphere has to be good. Happen. You're around these people in this atmosphere, and for how many hours? 10, 20, 15, 13 hours. It's long. TV's not easy. It's a long time on set.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I identify with what you just said. I mean, I won't let anyone walk over me. Let them write what they're going to write. Let them say what they're going to say. I know the truth. The truth always prevails. That's for sure. I'm going through something now. The truth will prevail. Zip for me. But I won't be bullied. I won't be walked over for not speaking. I'm going to speak my truth. That's just it.
That's all we have is our truth.
Absolutely. So I was told that you wanted to be a lawyer.
I did.
I could see, you know what, Gabrielle? I could see that.
I love being on the right side of history. I love fighting for the underdog. I didn't quite realize all the different ways you could be a lawyer, you know, until I needed legal advice myself. But yeah, I've always believed that there's a right and a wrong way to do things, and that justice can come in many forms. And I always wanted to be on the right side of history and the right side of justice, and fighting the good fight. But then acting happened. I honestly, like, I was studying for the LSATs, which I was doing terribly on, these little practice tests. And so I thought, maybe I could try this Hollywood thing for a while as I try to get better at taking this test that determines, you know, which.
Do you find that you give your friends, they come to you for advice? You give a lot of, I could see that about you. You're such a nurturing person.
I am nurturing, but I'm also about that action. So when, like, I'm not the greatest of, like, here, come cry on my shoulder.
When you're
ready to, like, get it cracking and you want that smoke, that's when you call me. And then we go out and we are about that. We're not
victims. No, I get that. And I love that about you. And I just wanted to say, every time I hear about a young new little baby model that started and I want to go on and support her, damn it, Gabrielle is there before me.
No,
I love
how
you support the young babies coming into our industry, the diverse models. I love it.
I'm obsessed.
Amazing.
I'm obsessed because I've been obsessed with models forever. You know what I mean? Like, just like looking at magazines and taking your picture in to the, you know, my cousin was my hairstylist and it's like, make me look like this. And she's like, baby, those are genes. Like, what I can do is your hair. You're not going to look like Naomi Campbell though. But like, just seeing, like, I don't know, their joy and kind of looking at where they're going, knowing that we've been there. And if there's a way I can make that road a little bit easier. And sometimes that's just a post saying, hey, I see you, or hey, mama, keep shining. You got this. Don't let them, you know, tear you down. You
encouragement.
Got this. And you just encourage. Yeah.
It's important. Self-esteem. Gabriella, I saw you speak once. I was in tears. You had the whole room in tears. You do a lot for women of abuse. And I saw you speak once. You got that award, that Essence lunch they have before the Oscars. Yeah. I mean, everyone was just streaming. I mean, you've been such a force and an advocate for this. And I mean, when did you get into this? Because you're so passionate about it.
I'm a survivor myself, you know. At 19, I was raped at gunpoint at the store I was working at called Payless Shoe Source. They've since gone out of business. Karma. But after I survived that and I got into therapy and I got the criminal justice that I was looking for, and I got into Hollywood, I noticed that they asked me a lot of stupid questions. They just asked me one stupid question too many. And I was like, I think I want to use this platform and this time with this microphone in my face to talk about something that can actually help people. Mm-hmm. And when you think about, you know, rape as the most underreported crime in the world, there's just a lot of people who have gone through what I've gone through. And if there's any kind of way that I can help them get healing, peace, justice, I want to be a part of that. So I've been shouting from the rooftops anywhere they will have me across the globe, telling my story and encouraging, you know, other people to reclaim their lives and their sanities and to nurture their souls, which a lot of times sexual assault robs you of all of that. So just trying to give back.
I mean, oh, wow. That just all came flooding. Just as you're speaking, it's all came flooding back to me. And I couldn't imagine if my child, I don't know. I don't know how what's amazing is that you give back and you've grown and you've come through it and you've never made it an excuse. And I have so much respect for you, so much. Now, married life, you two are like, for me, the Dwyane Wade are like, for me, when I see you both, no matter where it is, south of France, or New York, or Miami, it's like you're on your honeymoon. I love it. It's like you're on your honeymoon the whole entire time. Like you just got married a week ago.
No, I really like him. You know what I mean? Of course, I love him, but I didn't know until after my first marriage, failed, that liking your partner should be your first priority. And so with Dwyane, we've been through twists and turns, and we're terrible to each other. And then we went to therapy, and we learned how to heal ourselves, and then come back to the relationship as whole and more healed and better friends. And he's my best friend. He's my road dog. He's like,
you see that?
Like, I'm like, let's go have an adventure. And he's like, bet. Yeah. And luckily we're growing like this together, which, is always a challenge, because sometimes you start out this way and then somebody goes left. And we've just grown together in a way that is a lot of fun and an adventure. And when hardship happens, and it does, it's just, we're in the trenches together. Like, all right, what are we gonna do?
What the word is of true soulmates. And you just said the key word, like.
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize they have to like the person. They have to, as a friend, before just love and lust and all the other stuff,
Yeah.
It's true. So what's it like being married to a basketball player? When did you go to the games every week in Miami Heat, or?
I used to, if I was available, because trying to work on the other side of the country and then fly, to wherever, whether it be, on the road or in Miami, or when we were in Chicago or Cleveland, it's, when you only have a little bit of time off, spending that on a plane, crisscrossing the country every, few days is really taxing.
Because where did you used to film the BET series?
We filmed Being Mary Jane in Atlanta. And yeah, in Atlanta, it was a lot easier because it was just a short flight, and Luda would let me use his plane. So I was able to get off work at, 4:00 in the morning on Friday, fly home, crawl into bed with D, and have a normal weekend, and then fly back to Atlanta. But LA's Finest, for the last few years, we've been shooting in LA. So I was going from LA to Miami.
That's a long haul.
Back.
That's like getting New York to Europe.
Exactly. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
If I didn't like his ass, it would have been challenging. But I am glad we are not in that NBA bubble now, because he would be without me in the bubble.
Now,
you guys are doing it.
There was something that's really prominent and been prominent for many years, but has come up a lot now, and that's how you support the trans world. All of you, Dwyane, you, and it's that for me again is respect.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah. Now,
what's that journey been like?
So Zaya came out. She says she's come out a few times, but she came out as in the LGBTQ plus community when she was in the 3rd grade. So by the time she claimed her identity as a beautiful young trans girl a year ago now, our family was already LGBTQ plus allies, and we were already educating ourselves and learning and humbling ourselves, and so it was just a beautiful a full circle moment. So for watching Zaya embrace who she is and live free and not have to feel like she had to hide any part of herself in our home. If you can be free in your home and you are encouraged and loved and there is rejoicing as you rejoice, as you claim your identity.
Yeah.
It allows for more freedom, and what we've realized through our very public journey is that us loving our children unconditionally has inspired other people to love their children unconditionally. And it doesn't mean you have all the answers or you're going to get everything right, but it's step 1: love your babies. They don't need to be many versions of you. They can be happy, healthy, and successful without doing everything that you did. Just love them and release them to be themselves.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I look at you and your family, I just see that freedom of comfortableness, unconditional love. it's just a unit. You are a unit, and it's a real unit. And that's just like you just said, people can look at you and learn from that.
Yeah.
And see that it's possible to have your career, your businesswoman. I mean, you've got a clothing line with
New York and Company.
You've got a hairline, which I saw, which I want to try.
Yes.
And what's
You'll be getting your
called?
packages soon. Yes, Flawless Beauty.
And what else have you got going?
Sally's. I'm in a part of Fit On, this free fitness app, and I am a co-founder of Bitsy's, which is healthy snacks for kids, and though me and my husband eat them, so it's healthy snacks for everybody. But they're
no sugar.
Very low sugar, vegan, gluten free, and they're made with real vegetables. So
fantastic.
It's awesome. So
Gabrielle Union. I mean, honestly, I can't thank you enough for being on No Filter. Your life is one of an example.
No,
to
and
me.
Thank you. Every time I see you, from the very first time, when I say you are exquisite, I'm not over exaggerating. And literally every time I see you, no matter where we are in the world, it is pure love. And it's always such
love.
A treat and such a blessing. And just thank you for being a blessing in all of our lives. And
bless. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I love you and have a blessed day. And thank you. Kiss Mr. Wade.
Yes.
Kiss your babies. And thank you so much.
No, thank you, Mama.
Bye, my darling. Bye-bye.
Bye, babies.
So that was No Filter Tuesday. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed No Filter with Naomi.